What's up YouTube? This is your boy High King Arthur coming at you with a second part of my smithing tutorial for RPG Maker MB. Now real quick, if you haven't seen the first video, go watch it real quick and then come back and get into this one. So basically this video is for people who kind of have trouble with conditional branches, because my smithing and smelting system is all conditional branches, and I mentioned in that video that if you aren't too comfortable with it, you definitely want to get comfortable with it before. So as I mentioned, my buddy wanted me to upload the video tutorial on how I did my smithing and smelting system here, and I uploaded it just so he can use it as reference material, but he had an issue with a certain part of it. And if I go in here to my database and we go to my common events, you see smelting. He's wanting to implement system to where it takes multiple items to craft one item, and you can see I have that here. He was getting confused on how to set up the conditional branches the right way. So I'm just going to do a quick little tutorial on how I did that. So let's go over here and let's make a new event. Let's just make it an NPC, whatever. And then we're going to show an option, okay? And it's going to say trade 1 iron bar and 1 coal for 1 steel bar. See, just like that. And I know I misspelled iron right there. Let's just fix that. Okay, there we go. And this is the actual recipe in my game that it takes to make steel. You need an iron bar and a coal. So then you're going to get your choices as always. Make sure you set them all up right. And then when yes, you're going to immediately do a conditional branch, okay? And then you're going to tell it to look for an item in your inventory, iron bar, create an else, boom. And this is the part that he got skipped up on, because he was coming down here to do the branch for the second item, but you need it directly next in the script. So we're going to go here, conditional branch. It's going to look for coal in your inventory. Create an else branch. And so now, as soon as you click yes, it's going to look to see if you have an iron bar, right? And if you do, it's going to move on and do the coal. Now, make sure you know which else down here goes with what. And it's pretty simple to figure out. That's what these little diamonds are for. So you'll notice right here, this diamond is in this space. So you go straight down and you see this space right here. That's the else to the first conditional branch there. Because whenever you put a conditional branch inside of another conditional branch, it brackets it out. So right here, if we don't have any iron bars, we're going to show text. And it's going to say, you have no iron bars. Pretty simple, okay? Now we'll do the same thing right here. If party has coal, this happens, or else, and we'll just say you have no coal. Pretty simple, right? So then we'll click OK, and then right here, this is where the magic happens. So if you have the iron bar and you have the coal in your inventory, then it's going to go on to the next step right here. And this is simple. We're just going to change items. We're going to decrease iron bars in the inventory by 1. We're going to change items again. We're going to decrease the amount of coal you have in your inventory by 1. Decrease. Make sure it's set to decrease. And then you're going to add the item that you're trying to trade for or make or whatever. So in our case, that's the steel bar. And then we can show some text. And it says, you traded up for a steel bar. Woohoo. Now, let's go and look at this one last time. So you talk to him, it asks you if you want to trade an iron bar and a coal, blah, blah, blah. If you click no, it's going to jump you down right here and there's nothing. So it's just going to end and it'll allow you to loop this event again. But if you click yes, it's going to check to see if you have an iron bar. If you don't, it's going to say you have no iron bars. If you do, it's going to move to this next step where it's going to check to see if your party has coal. If you don't, it's going to say you have no coal. If you do, then all of this is going to happen. And it's going to say you traded for a steel bar. And then it's going to jump you down to the end. Okay, so let's apply that. Let's go ahead and move our character over here and give us a test. Alright guys, so we're here in Tutorial Town and we're going to go over here and we're going to click on this guy and he says trade 1 iron bar for 1 steel bar. So we're going to say yes. You have no iron bars. You see? But if we come over here, we found 1 iron ore. We can go over here and smelt it. Which ore would you like to use? Would you like to smelt the iron? Say yes. Alright, and as you can see, we now have 1 iron bar. So we're going to go and talk to this guy again. He's gonna say trade, say yes. Now it says you have no coal because it realizes we have the iron bar before the coal. But we need the coal to do this trade. So let's back out and let's go ahead and just, let's edit this and add 1 coal into it. So change items, and we're going to add 1 coal right there, apply, okay. So now when we go back in and we test it again, we'll be able to get the iron bar and the coal from this barrel right here. Found 1 iron ore. We also found the coal. I just didn't put it in the text. So we're going to smelt the iron. Yes. Cool, we have an iron bar now. So if we go in here, we have an iron bar and we have a coal. So we're going to go talk to this guy again. Trade 1 iron bar, 1 coal for 1 steel bar. Say yes, you traded up for a steel bar. And now if we check our inventory, we have 1 steel bar. Okay, so let's move on to the next step of this. Let's say you want to maybe make something that costs 5 iron bar and 1 coal. Let's say you want your steel to cost multiples, okay? So what you would do is, first let's delete all this, except for the choices. We can leave those. Okay, so in yes, you're going to control a variable, okay? And you're going to make it your iron bar counter. Sure, why not? And this is going to be set to game data. It's going to be set to the amount of iron bars you have in your inventory, okay? And then you're going to set another variable, okay? And you're going to want this one to count the amount of coal that you have in your inventory. Just like that. So as soon as you click yes, it's going to tell the game that this variable equals the number of iron bars in your inventory, and this variable equals the amount of coal in your inventory, okay? Then when you do your conditional branches, it's going to be the same setup, except you'll do iron bar counter. Whoops. There we go. And it's going to have to be greater than or equal to 3, let's just say, okay? And then we'll create a conditional branch. And what that does is it only makes this spot right here that's highlighted in blue happen if you have at least 3 iron bars in your inventory. And then we're going to do another conditional branch for the coal. Let's see. Coal counter. And if coal counter is greater than or equal to 2, let's just do it that way, then this happens. And we're just going to do the same thing. We'll change items. We'll decrease iron bars by 3, and then we'll change items again, and we decrease the amount of coal you have by 2, and then we add the steel bar, just like that. And then we show the text again. Let's see, traded 3 iron bars and 2 coal for 1 steel bar, just like that. And I guess we can go ahead and edit this. Let's put 3 and 2 there. Whoops. All right, so now when we talk to this guy, he's gonna say we can trade 3 iron bars and 2 coal for 1 steel. So when we click yes, it's gonna set the iron bar counter variable to equal the number of iron bars and the coal counter variable to equal the number of coal you have. And then if iron bars are greater than or equal to 3, then it's going to check for the coal, and then if you have at least 2 coal in your inventory, it's going to do the swap for you. Now if not, and remember your else branches, the iron else branch is going to be down here, okay? So the first, or the bottom else branch is always going to be the first else on top, because that's how it brackets, okay? So right here we'll say you have no iron bars, or no, we're gonna say you do not have enough iron bars, because we're going off of more iron bars now. And then right here it'll just say chugga 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 chugga, you have or don't have enough coal. Very simple stuff, guys. It's just rinse and repeat every single time. So now let's go ahead and check this out. Apply. Okay, we're gonna have to go ahead and just put a quick little chest in here to give us the materials that we want, because I don't feel like doing all the smelting for it. So let me just do that real quick. All right, so I made a couple chests down. This one has some coal in it. This one has some iron in it. So let's just test this guy. Trade 3 iron bar and 2 coal for 1 steel bar. I'm gonna say yes. You don't have enough iron bars. So let's go over here and grab the iron bars. And we have enough iron bars because we have 3. So it's gonna check the variable and make sure we have enough. And when we say yes, it should say we don't have enough coal. We don't have enough coal. So let's grab the 2 coal. And now you can see we have 3 iron and 2 coal. We talk to him again. Trade 3 iron bars and 2 coal for 1 steel bar. Yes. Traded 3 iron bars and 2 coal for 1 steel bar. And that's pretty much it, guys. So if you were having trouble figuring out how I did the conditional branches and everything in the first video, this one is just to kind of touch up on that some more for those of you who aren't so good with conditional branches and variable callings yet. So if this video did help you, please smash that like button and give me a subscribe. This is my 2nd YouTube video ever, and it looks like I'm falling into the pattern of doing MV tutorials, even though I'm kind of new to it myself. So if you guys found this helpful, let me know in the comments. If you guys have any questions about it, let me know in the comments. And until next time, I'm High King Arthur. Peace.